been a minute.
Yeah, since our last episode. That was fun. We'll definitely have to do a repeat of Bean Boozled.
Yeah, it didn't get filmed, unfortunately.
But the next time, hopefully it will.
Yeah, and it needs to be filmed for the world to see. Also, never mind.
It's a good film.
So, like, a lot's happened since, I'm just gonna say March 15th because it's April 15th.
About a month
so we'll
ago.
do like a whole month. I'm trying to think like what happened.
Well, we just came back from spring break.
Yes, it's
Do
only.
you have any like wild spring break stories?
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
So, the Saturday before I came back to Purchase, my brother, he goes to SUNY Plattsburgh. Shout out to Parker Gill. He's probably not watching this even though I told him to. And so he goes to Plattsburgh, but I'm from Long Island. And he had like this whole ceremony because he was being inducted into like a history honor society. And so my parents really wanted to go see it. And they're like, we're going to go to Plattsburgh. So immediately I had to like prepare myself for an 8-hour car ride.
Oh.
But then they told us, no, we have a plane to go catch. So we drove to JFK, got on a plane to Burlington, Vermont, then got into a car for an hour, took a ferry, then drove another half hour, and then pulled up to the ceremony late and missed it all. So afterwards, after Parker had his little like moment of, why'd you guys come in late? You embarrassed me, all that fun stuff. I mean, I'd probably do that too. I can't.
Sure.
Blame him.
Yeah,
I can't blame him. We went to Perkins in Plattsburgh, New York, and my grandparents were also there, but they had driven up. So they stayed at the hotel connected to the Perkins. And have you been to a Perkins before?
I don't know what that is.
It's a really okay. You know how there's like IHOP, and then there's Denny's like way at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, Perkins is like way like at the
Below Denny's.
Yeah, I had the crappiest meal. Like
What'd you get?
I got an omelet and then home fries.
Oh,
Home
how do you
fries
mess up
tasted
that?
like chemicals, but I still ate them.
That's amazing. My
So-
favorite flavor.
Chemicals?
Yeah.
At D-Hall. Shout out to D-Hall. And so we're sitting there. My brother and I are all catching up because it's been a hot minute again since we had been in the same room. And my grandpa, he's like talking, and he's like, yeah, like we had like a really nice time here last night because they had gone to Perkins for dinner the night before, and he was just going on and on about Perkins, especially this one waiter guy. And he's like, yeah, like he was just like really nice, and he took care of us and everything. I'm like, cool. And then he started getting like into like not weirder things, but just like, you know, grandpa. He was just like, yeah, he was like a nice boy. He looked strong. He didn't have any tattoos. And like, I bet his girlfriend is proud, but like, I wonder if he has a girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, grandpa. So anyway, while we're eating, the waiter from the previous night comes up, and my grandpa stops him while he's trying, like, he's holding a tray of food, and my grandpa stops him. He's like, "Oh my God, you're the waiter we had last night. Like, here, like, Megan, have you met the waiter?" I'm just like, "Oh no, hi."
That's so funny.
And he's like, "Yeah, you guys, it'd be good." I'm just like,
8 hours from your house.
8 hours, yeah, and I'm just like, no, and then my grandpa was just like asking questions about this guy's girlfriend, who I don't even know if he has one. I don't care. Like, he's just
Was he cute?
He was cute, but he's also in Plattsburgh, and I'm in Westchester,
That's
and it's
fair.
just not gonna happen. And so, because I'm sorry, I'm not driving 8 hours.
Plus your grandpa set you up.
Yeah, yeah.
Might be weird.
But basically, yeah. So anyway, you know how like when people like are like in the movies when they take like they see somebody and they like get uncomfortable, they'll like take a shot of whatever they're drinking,
Yeah.
like, or finish their alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
My brother Parker was like, pass the coffee, and we each poured ourselves like, a mug of coffee and was like chugging it. So my grandpa was talking.
Was it
to
hot?
This guy. No, it was like
It was
out for a
like
little bit.
room temperature coffee.
But yeah, so I mean, it runs in the family because my great grandmother, every time I see her, who is my grandfather's mom, is always like, Megan, are you dating yet? And I'm like, yes, Gigi, I am. And she's like, that's good. Why haven't I met anybody? And I'm like, because I'm.
They don't last.
That's it.
Wah, wah. You know, Megan, you will find your somebody someday.
I know, and my Gigi will be so proud of
She
me.
will be so proud, and so will your grandpa, and I bet even the waiter at Perkins,
If I ever see him again.
if you ever see him again.
If I ever see him again, that would be.
For all we know, he's watching this because your grandpa like gave him.
Yeah, he just
The
like he
Instagram.
introduced our entire family. He's like, this is Rob and Kathy and
That's
Parker.
wild.
And yeah. So that was my spring break. That was like the funniest moment because I don't think I would have ever lived to see the day of my grandpa trying to set me up with somebody. But you know,
Yeah.
At least I know he cares.
Yeah. It's
That
true.
would be nice.
He just wants you to
Strong
find
way
a nice
to-
store.
Yeah.
He just wants you to find a nice store.
But what about you? How was your spring break?
My spring break was pretty good. I went on a wine tour. I went on my first wine tour. That was fun. Yeah. So we started the day around 8:30 a.m. and am I allowed to say drunk? Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We were drunk
We're
by
adults.
like 9,
Kind of.
and we're like riding the bus to the winery, and everyone's just like getting more and more trashed, and the bus driver like comes over the speaker and he's like, listen, I don't care if you drink, I don't care if you smoke, just don't throw up on my bus. And we were like, okay, like we can do that. And so we get to the winery, we all get like 6 wine tastings. But there were so many of us that we didn't get to pick, so she was just like going around like pouring everyone like 6 different kinds. And so yeah, then everyone like buys their own bottle and we like walk around the winery and take some cute pictures. It was a beautiful day out. Then we get to like we leave the winery and we get to this park. And we have lunch. There were like subs and chips and like fruit and stuff, like all this fun stuff. And then we like get back on the bus to start heading to the other winery, and all of a sudden like everyone starts throwing up. So like we're sitting on the bus and like you look and just everyone's holding like plastic bags up to their mouth, like everyone was
But
throwing up.
that's the classy way to do it.
Yeah, at least they weren't like throwing up on the floor like at the winery. Like we're just like cruising.
You do it in the private,
The
in your private sector of the bus,
yeah, of your little seat, you throw up. And my friend who I was with actually threw up 3 times, but she took it
Shout
the
out
next
to that
step,
friend.
and she went to the bus bathroom and
No.
threw up in the bus bathroom 3 times. But we were proud. So then we're like, we're gonna go to the other part, which it wasn't the second winery wasn't a winery, it was a distillery.
Mm.
So this place we get served like liquor, as if anyone needs that after everyone's throwing up. And we're like going up this hill to get up to the distillery, and the like tire gets stuck in a pothole. So we all had to get off the bus and like they had to come tow the bus with a tow truck. And so we all just like walked up the hill
A
to
little
the
tow truck
distillery.
or like a big one?
It was pretty big, the tow truck. The tow truck. The tow truck.
You got this.
Because
SAT
the bus
work.
was like that big ass coach
Like the
bus.
loop, like the weekend
It was
loop?
like the weekend loop,
The
like the
weekend
weekend loop, yeah. So yeah, that was fun. I didn't throw up because I didn't, well, first of all, I didn't feel like I had to, but also I didn't know anyone, so I wasn't gonna like,
And you're classy and responsible.
yeah, that too. I was like, I'm at a winery, like I'm fancy. So yeah, that was the extent of my spring break.
It's pretty wild.
It was a wild spring break.
Oh yeah. And now we're here. I thought
Yeah.
we were back at Burgess for 2 weeks on Sunday. I guess that was yesterday. I was like, wow, we've been here for
Oh,
2
it's
weeks
been 2
already.
weeks. Oh, no, it's been 1 week.
It's been 1.
That's weird. Yeah.
But anyway, so on today's episode, our little game, I guess, is from the audience members. We have 3 people today with us. We have
Thank
Bobby,
you for
Alan,
coming.
and Vernon. Thank you guys
Actually,
so
you all
much.
have to be here.
Yeah, you have to
But
be
thank
here.
you for being
Thank
here.
you so much. We really appreciate it. Like, round of applause for doing a good job. You guys are just gonna give us a word, and then we're gonna use that word to come up with a story that has, I guess, like a wild story from our past.
Yeah, like
Or
you
present.
tell us a word and like we have to tell a wild story based
Yeah.
off that word.
So just like shout out a word.
Kumquat.
What is that?
Fruit.
Another word, please.
Yeah, I don't have any stories about that.
Brita filter.
What is it?
Brita
Are you
filter.
serious?
Okay, I have a wild, a kind. I mean,
Okay, you go first.
it's not
You go
that wild,
first.
but my Brita filter. Why can't I talk today? My Brita filter is empty a lot because we drink a lot of water,
Yeah.
which is good, you
Yeah,
know.
Stay hydrated, folks.
But you know how like it filters slow.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we get lazy, so we just like try to filter it, and then like you'll put it in the fridge and you'll grab it, and it's like not done filtering yet. So many times, wildly happens to me, is I pour a glass of water and it's just all the unfiltered water from the top,
Yeah.
like going into my cup, and it's like a tsunami.
You might as well just like take from the like.
The tap at that point, yeah.
I've done that before. I think I'm alive.
So far, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen in 30 years when they
We'll figure it
decide
out.
that lead
Yeah.
water is poisonous.
It's all good.
That's my story. That's as wild as my Brita filter story can be.
So my story has to do with November of 2018. Yeah, that was last year. We had a few friends over and then we went party hopping, but we had a lot of fun that night. And we basically, like, it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And for some reason, like, we had gone, it was just like, it was me and 4 friends. Was it 4?
Yeah.
No, it was like 5 or 6. It was very small. 4? No.
People?
4 people. Yeah, no, because I'm thinking it's me.
Oh, it's 5 of us.
No, me, you being Vernon, Sam, Justin,
And Alana.
Julia, and Alana. 6 people.
7. Oh.
That's crazy. It's so long.
So it was just really quiet, and then we went to a party on M Street, and then we stayed there for a little bit, and then we're like, nah, we gotta go to the Moore store. So we ended up at the Moore store. I ate a bag of chips. I didn't mean to, but I did. And then we walked back to Big House, and we hung out in Big House for a little bit, and then we walked back to my apartment all the way in the New. And I have a friend who, when they have a lot of fun, they'll just like drink out of the Brita filter.
Like
Yeah, like
no
that.
way.
Like stay hydrated.
I've
kids.
never thought to do that.
But I like sometimes I'll just be like, stop, like you can't. That's disgusting. You have to watch it. Like I want to be the one to watch it, and I don't want to be the one who drinks right after it. You know, stuff like that. And I remember my friend just like taking the Brita filter to that response and throwing it across the room. And I'm like, yo, that's the Brita filter. And it was my roommate's Devin's Brita filter. And earlier that night, I was cleaning the fridge and I threw her mayonnaise, like I threw it because the cap wasn't on. And it was just like a big like Costco thing of mayonnaise, and I just broke it. And I had to buy her a new one. So immediately I'm like, oh, now we broke 2 of her things, and she's away on vacation with her
mayonnaise
family.
and Brita.
And the Brita filter, yeah. So
Wow.
I was just like, what are we gonna do? We have to like problem solve. And like 5 of my friends were like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and there are 2 more parties we have to go to. Let's get like pull yourself together. We're gonna go. And then we went. And then I woke up and like the next morning, and I went to go pour myself some water, and there's just like a giant crack in the Brita filter. But it turns out it was just like my imagination that my friend had thrown it, because in reality everyone else was just like, nah, like she dropped it.
Oh.
But I don't know why my imagination was just like.
That's wild.
Because I think I think for comedic effect, it would have been better if it was thrown across the room, because I think it would have done the same damage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It must have fallen hard then.
Yeah. I mean, I was walking on the carpet today, and I was like, this isn't even carpet, it's just tile.
That's true.
But yeah, all right, next word.
Next word. Alan?
Baking sheet.
Oh,
Baking
come on.
sheet.
He set me up for this. Okay, so this past weekend, my friends and I had a Vine party at my apartment. You know Vine? You know, like those 6-second videos, R.I.P. So I decided to be the Vine of that girl, and she's like has the 2 baking sheets, and she's like, I don't get no sleep because of y'all. Y'all ain't not gonna get no sleep because of me. And so I had 2 baking sheets, and I'm banging them together. And I don't know what was going through my head. I didn't realize I was drunk. And I was like, I started to think of other vines in my head, and you know that one where it's like, this bitch empty, yeet. I said it, and I took my baking sheet, and until it left my hand, I didn't even realize that I was throwing like a whole baking sheet. And it hit my friend in the hand, and it bruised her, by the way. But in her hand was a
thing.
In my friend's hand was something that was lit.
Was a sandwich.
And it flew out of her hand and landed on my good friend Alan. And mad flames, mad like sparks went all over the place. And it actually landed on Alan's arm, and he has a little bubble on his arm. And I just stood there like this, because I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And then my friend confiscated my baking sheets for 5 minutes. Sorry, Alan and Becca and Katie and everyone who was there that experienced that.
Becca says, my hand, bro, still broken.
Awesome. Anything from you from a baking
Yeah, I'm curious.
sheet?
Who are the viewers tonight? We're having spectacular viewership.
Maya, Becca, Katie, Vernon,
What?
Yeah.
and Jack. Onlyati.
Cool. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you're enjoying the show. I don't really have that many like wild stories about baking sheets, but I do own a baking sheet. I have everything at my apartment that has like underneath the stove is mine. Like, and I feel bad because I'm leaving. Like, I'm gonna be like the first person to leave, and so I'm gonna like take
broke my pen.
But this baking sheet, and so I noticed that like if you put it in my oven, it'll pop. I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
No.
Like I'll take it out and it'll be like warped like
Oh,
this.
that's not good.
So like there's been some instances where like the food's been pushed all the way at one side and then like doesn't cook all the way or like it gets burnt. But you know, you just take it out and then it cools down and it goes back to being a flat baking sheet and then I use it again.
That's fair. That's pretty wild that your
Like-
baking sheet has like a mind of its own.
Just but like you'll be like in like I don't know about anyone else, but like I love TV and so I'll like make food but like go and like watch TV as I'm making food because
Right.
like you know it takes a while, especially if you're baking.
Mhm.
So I'll just be like on my couch like la 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 watching like I don't know
Shows.
something and I don't know I'm like I was gonna say The Bachelor but like we ended that so
R.I.P.
yeah. And you'll just hear like a loud banging coming from within the oven, and then I always check on it, but I always know. I was like, it's a baking sheet.
That's
But
funny.
yeah,
A baking sheet.
baking sheet. I salute it.
I would too. All right, last word. Who's got one?
Bobby, what's the word?
Last word.
D Hall.
Oh my
D-Hall.
god. Okay, give us a moment.
Yeah, let me think. I've been to D Hall a few times this year. Oof. You know, D Hall on its own is just like a very wild environment.
When I go to D Hall, I only get a plate of tater tots.
Well,
And
you know
I
what?
haven't been there at all.
I
this
have a
year.
wild D Hall story. I was there this past Sunday actually, because sometimes it's like fun to go there on Sundays because it's like brunch and you're like dead from the weekend. And every Sunday there's the same omelet lady there, and this woman does not know how to make an omelet. Okay, I want to say, hand me over the pan, give me the little grill thing she uses, and let me just cook my omelet because, first of all, she never hears what I say. I'll be like, let me get a 2-egg omelet with cheddar cheese, please, and she'll be like, 3 eggs, and I'll be like, 2. And she'll be like, you want cheese? And I'll be like, yeah, cheddar. And then she like, you know like when you scramble eggs, you put some cheese up in there and you stir it, and then you like put it on the pan? But an omelet, you like let the egg cook some, then put the cheese in like,
Yeah.
she just like puts the cheese in with the eggs and then pours it on, and then she just leaves it like the size of the plate. So it's just like cheese mixed inside of like a big ass
Like an
egg.
egg pancake?
Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't order this, sis. So this past Sunday, I was like, I'm gonna just order 2 eggs over medium because I wasn't gonna deal with her fake ass omelet. And so my petition is to get the Sunday morning D Hall omelet lady switched to like Tuesday mornings when no one's there. That's what I want, and that's my story. You?
I'm trying to think that like,
Also, their ice cream machine.
I've
You
never
either-
used the ice
You
cream
either
machine.
pull it down and it takes like 4 minutes to come out, or like this much comes out and then you're like just moving your bowl because it won't stop. That happened to me. And Becca. Becca was like,
It's just, I think like D Hall doesn't have like you can't limit it down to one story. Like I'm
Mhm.
trying to think. I'm pretty sure they leave the fruit in the water there for like days. Cause I remember like being like, oh, lemon water, have some. And then it's just like drinking Sour Patch
ew.
Kids. Yeah. And what else? Oh, you know the dessert table,
Yeah.
or should I say dessert table because the sign says desert.
No way.
It doesn't say
They actually
dessert.
got rid of that because people were putting out the typo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm curious like who did that, cause I would have done that and been like, no one's gonna read it that way. Like, just who's
Just
gonna
keep it
read
desert,
that?
yeah.
There's cake. Who's gonna read
Yeah.
it? Oh, and my favorite thing at D Hall is if you can get me like for my birthday, like
Alright.
a cake of this. It's the pound cake with the vanilla frosting on top.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
It's so good. Have that with tater tots and you got yourself like a quality D Hall meal. That's usually what I get if I go to D Hall.
Alright.
But I think
Noted.
one time my friend swiped me into D Hall last semester and they only had like breakfast potatoes and I was a little
They don't
upset.
always have tater tots.
They really do. 'Cause
It's a
now
good day at
I
D-Hall when
brought
there's
that
tater
tradition
tots.
home into my own apartment and
Tater tots?
I make tater tots for breakfast now.
Ooh, tater tots are
So
very
yeah,
good.
I think that's that's my wild story of Purchase College's Tea Hall, is that I have incorporated tater tots into my diet. I have never done that before in my life. But
Purchase. It
it's
changes
so
you, man.
good. Like, try it. Oh my god! Like for the kids back at home, it's like scrambled eggs and like cheese sprinkled on top, and then like you take the fork and you put it in the tater tot, and then you take a little bit of the egg. So
We
good.
got the next Rachel Ray over here.
So good. And then like a bomb ass cup of coffee
I'm with it. I'm gonna do it
to
this
get
weekend.
you through.
To get me through the day.
Yeah, I went to Trader. I went a week without tater tots.
Oh, that's
Because I forgot
rough.
to bring it back from break, but yeah, went to Trader Joe's on Sunday and I got myself some tots.
You wanna take it? That's
Yes.
great. I would just like everyone to know that my birthday is in 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah, woo!
And I will be 21, or should I say 20 fun years old. Ha ha. Laugh. It's funny. Yeah, so you're all invited to my birthday party.
You point this out.
You're all invited to, no one's here. So you're all invited to my birthday, everyone in this room, all 2 of you, 3, 5, 1.
What? No, you're gonna be there.
I'll be there, okay. All 4 people
What?
in this room are invited
Who
to my
leaves
birthday
their own
party.
birthday party?
I'll be at,
I've done that.
Yeah, my brother's done that before.
I
Never
will
mind.
probably
Yeah.
leave my
I
birthday
didn't show
party. Because zombie prom's on my birthday.
Oh, and then
And
it's
also
Easter.
420.
It's Easter, guys.
Yeah.
So leave some cookies out for the Easter bunny.
And carrots.
There's
Ooh,
also
I
the
wanna
women's
dye
comedy
eggs
show.
this week. I'm gonna dye eggs this week.
Oh.
That'll be wild.
Do they work on brown eggs or like would that just like? Is there
Um,
one? I brown eggs. I
I don't know.
like
Yeah,
neon
you might
red
just need
colors.
like darker colors or
Cool.
like brighter.
And you just have to hard boil them.
Yeah, you gotta hard boil them, then like you dip them in the thing. I bought 2
Where?
kits of it. Dyeing Easter eggs, and we could have a hunt even maybe.
We can
Like
because like
Easter egg
God
hunt.
forbid they go bad. It's just outside.
Yeah, maybe the birds will eat them. The raccoons.
We gotta do that.
All right. Well, anyways, now that we've
Time
gone
to wrap it
completely
up.
off
But
topic.
yeah, catch us next time. We will probably play Bean Boozled, everyone's favorite.
Yes, we're gonna play it again.
But yeah, I guess thanks for hanging
Thanks
out
for
with
tuning
us.
in and
Exactly,
listening to
yeah.
our wild stories.
But yeah, so again, I'm Megan.
I'm Mariah,
And that was wild.